Hello Aquarius and welcome to your August 2016 reading. I hope that everybody's gotten off to a great start. Just a reminder, you can use this for your rising sign, your sun sign, or for your moon. So let's get started. For those of you that join every month, you know that I separate this into three parts. We start with channeled information first, and then we work into a forecast and extend it out finally into health, wealth, love, and destiny. Your channeled information this month, which comes when I meditate over each sign, was that you need to be aware of things that are going on beneath the surface. So this is a month where you can uncover things that you may have either not been open to seeing before or maybe just hadn't been paying close attention to. So I want you to keep your eyes peeled. I want you to be aware and open to whatever kind of information can come to you, whether it's through intuition or perhaps someone is going to share some information with you this month. But you really need to be focusing on looking beneath the surface, questioning things a little bit more than usual, not getting sort of crazy about it, but just being willing to turn a new leaf and see what additional things could come to you if you're a little bit more open and if you're a little bit more inquisitive. Okay, so let's take a look now at the cards and see what's coming through for this month. So one thing I'm seeing right off the bat is a decent amount of stress for many of you. The Nine of Swords often comes through when you've been worrying quite a bit, wondering how you can make something work, looking at all the possible outcomes. So we'll take a look and see what it is that could be stressing you and how you can work on that. And for your Catalyst card, the card that's going to help you get closer to being achieving your happiness and whatever it is your best outcome will be, it shows participation. The card was reversed. So what I'm seeing here is a teamwork, first and foremost, is going to be at the cornerstone of your success this month. So finding groups of people to kind of help you out or finding the right connections, very, very key. The other thing is, when this card is reversed, for me anyway, it reads as slightly being in a hermit phase, not wanting to connect as much with other people or to do as many things socially perhaps as you've maybe been in the past or wanted to do in the past. So take a look at that and see if that suits you, if that's accurate for yourself. With the participation card reversed and in the Catalyst position, I would say if you can be more active, meet more people this month, be a little bit more social, that's going to help you across the board. Okay? Your center card is Page of Wands upright. This is showing that it's a great new time to start a new project, a new task. For any of you who are thinking of like improving your fitness or diet, great month to begin something new. Temperance, which is covering that card, basically saying stay as even as possible, try not to do anything extreme. So if you are going to change something in regards to your health, try to avoid doing like a crazy cleanse that requires you to only drink juice for several days or whatever. Try to be as kind to your body and as easygoing as possible. You want to ease into the changes, not like full force, no looking back. In your deep past, I see that many of you have maybe been a little bit fatigued, wondering why it's up to you to take on so many responsibilities as of late. And also, many of you may be at the center of either a lot of criticism or a lot of people telling you how you could or should run certain parts of your life or your business. So the Seven of Wands is a card of self-sustainability, showing me that as an Aquarius, as a very strong air sign, you're capable of certain levels of diplomacy and also seeing things from other people's points of view, but sometimes it gets too much. Sometimes, especially if people are starting to criticize you, what you want to avoid doing is going on the defensive. So just realize you're doing a great job, doing more than most people could do, and you want to avoid letting people's criticism temper your mood too much. It's okay, you're doing all right, is basically what this card is showing. There's a need for a lot of you to shift and make a change right now. We have the Hanged Man, it's reversed, typically showing a little bit of impatience, a readiness to take that next step. So with the Page of Wands being at the center. For many of you, this is either needing to do more, like with a job, or expanding your mind and being appreciated for what you have to offer a little bit more. But it's something where I feel like you've ruminated and thought about something enough, you can actually pull the trigger this month and begin something new. So don't be afraid of making a very big change in your life, especially if it's something that you've given a good amount of time and training to make happen. Your crowning card is the Three of Pentacles, and I love this as a crowning card. This shows me that if any of you are sort of working on legal matters this month, or writers, or are trying to bring something to a large group of people either for funding or approval, this is going to be a really great card to beacon that in. It shows me that you've been working hard on this. You are very good at working to sort of get people's approval. So use that diplomacy in your benefit wherever you can. Again, it could be as simple as signing a contract for a new house or something like that. But pay attention to the small details. Remember, your channeled information was to uncover. So ask a lot of questions, and don't be afraid, if again it is a contract, to ask for some help in deciphering that, either from a lawyer or from someone that you trust. This isn't going to be a month where you're going to have a lot of time to relax. The Four of Swords in reverse typically shows someone who wants a break but isn't necessarily getting that sort of leisure time for a holiday or a vacation. So expect yourself to be very busy this month. And as we saw earlier with the Nine of Swords, this card is saying, much like the Page of Wands in the middle, it's saying it's time to come to a decision. You've thought about something long enough, time to make the decision and let go of the stress. Money is something that you're concerned about this month, but it looks like you've got enough. The Six of Pentacles, when it's upright, basically says you're fine as long as you don't exceed your monthly means, your limits, your sort of budget. And so this card is a reminder, when reversed, to be very mindful of how far you can push things, how much you have left, and that probably you're going to have to do something that will shake the scales a little bit. So could be an unnecessary, well, not unnecessary, we would just see an unforecasted cost that comes in, and it will affect your overall financial standing, but it's not going to break things. It's just going to basically make the balance a little bit uneven, and you're going to have to work in the months ahead to sort of make decisions that will help even things out or help replenish what you've taken financially. When I look at the environment, this is actually hopes and fears. So for many of you, emotions have been a big component of this month to come, the month prior and this month to come. So what could be difficult this month is you could find that you're going either really, really high highs or low lows. So it could be difficult for people around you to understand what's going on. And it might be difficult for you to articulate, even being an air sign, how this is all coming about. There's just some cycles that are going on emotionally that make it tough. And what you want to try to avoid is picking fights with people. You want to try to avoid crossing over other people's comfort zones or boundaries. It's a month to try to just stay on path, and when you can communicate or articulate, you can explain why whatever's going on in your body, why things are so difficult. And if you can't, it would be better to distance yourself a little bit rather than to lash out. This month is all about change. Your outcome card is Death reversed, the reversal of death indicating a gradual and a expected change. This could be one that you've been putting off, because death, little bit more subtle than the Tower, but when it comes, it sort of is saying, enough now, you have to act. So we have your recent past showing feeling stuck or something not going the way you want, and your future showing change is inevitable. Change or a major decision that's going to change something in your life, it has to happen this month. For some of you, that involves work or an expenditure of some sort that you've been putting off, and now it's coming due. But what I see overall is you've been very good with bookkeeping. You're able to make money work in your favor, and that's what's important. Let's expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, and then we'll do a review at the end to make sure all of this makes sense. Shuffle it one more time. All right, I love this card. Basically, this is going to happen quickly. The very first of the month, you will have something that basically gives you this feeling of being reborn, new vitality. I love it. What you can do, this is showing that you're going to take an active role. You're the one that's basically going to make the change happen in your life. So again, if it's a decision, if it's a purchase, if it's the act of composition, the act of creating something new, start it this Monday, basically. If you've started to watch this at the beginning of the month. And if not, as soon as you watch the video, you should begin working on that change, that major life decision that you've been putting off, and it's going to basically revitalize your life. So it feels like it's a very positive shift that's going to happen over August. Let's take a look at, and that was more to do with your mental well-being and your mental vitality, but I would say overall your body looks pretty good this month with all 7 chakras being represented with this. So I would say energetically, your subtle body is in good shape. Your mental body or your mental state of mind should be in good state. As long as you take care of yourself in regards to eating well and exercising, everything should be okay. All right, so let's take a look now at wealth. This is a month when you want to be as close to the mark as possible. It says perfection, and I'm not going to dissuade you and say don't be a perfectionist. I will instead say, no, you want to actually try to work and make things as beautiful as possible, particularly if you're going to try to sell it, share it, or distribute it to the world. This is your last month to put finishing touches on it and then let it go. That's all that's coming through with that, but it does feel like you have a chance to succeed and be noticed at work or professionally, so go for that. Let's take a look at love and relationships. Divine order. So this is interesting because this partly shows me, for some of you in need to maybe separate, divorce. This card definitely shows me an end for many of you, and that would go together with the death card. So for some of you, it's a month to step away. Many of you may need to seek sort of help in balancing things out when it comes to love. The most important thing with divine order is to sort of go with whatever is happening in your life. This is saying that basically what's happening is how it's meant to be, and you sort of, it's almost a sense of acceptance, if you will. So accepting that you couldn't have changed anything. Now, this includes relationships that are past, people that have passed. Maybe this person had a result or an effect on your current life situation, and the divine order says it's okay. Where you're at, it's okay. Because when you let go of the judgment and you just sort of take a look at the situation overall, you can make the changes you need and you can move on. And remember, the whole hope this month, especially mentally, is to revitalize. Okay? Let's wrap up and take a look at your trajectory. And a reminder with this that whenever I'm looking at your destiny card, it is malleable. It is something that you can change, that you can shift based on your decisions, based on the knowledge that this is coming, that you are going in this direction. All right. For those of you that have an affinity for writing or communication, this month is quite supportive in that area. So even if you're not, if you keep a journal, this is a great way for you to work through all of your emotions to make sense of them without having to talk and share any secrets or anything that you're not comfortable sharing. Putting it on paper and just kind of processing it in your head, it's going to be a very beneficial thing for you this month. The other thing is, it's a reminder that you get to write your own destiny. So if you're not happy with the path that you're on, I want you to start to rewrite your own life, recast people in your life. Stop thinking that you're not successful or that things can't work out. Start to do the flip side of that and think, well, I'm going to start today to change what I'm not happy with. All right, so let's review everything that came through. Your channeled information again was to be a little bit of a detective this month and uncover things that are under the surface. You want to ask some questions, some probing questions if there are things that don't seem right, don't feel right in your life, and feel free to sort of I guess, dig deeper around you and make sure that you're not missing something. Money situations definitely are coming through this month. I feel like you are going to have to spend a little bit more than you're comfortable with. It does look like it's a wise investment. It does look like you're going to be okay with it. This could be part of the change that you need to make. This could also be a relationship leaving. As far as new relationships come, I don't really see that many on the horizon. Possibly a Scorpio for some of you with the moon card. But overall, this seems like a month where you're focusing on yourself, on your own stability, not so much about love coming in. I really don't see any particular signs coming through for you. It's a month where you'll benefit even if you're sort of resistant or reluctant to be involved with larger groups. It looks like you could get some help from people around you in your life if you're willing to take that help. Once you've decided to make some of the changes in your life, a new sense of vitality is going to enter. It should happen around the first week of the month, if not the first of the month, so that's exciting. You really want to be focusing on precision, I would say. It says perfection, but precision is probably more something that you could achieve this month. But be precise, be exact. If you can, be perfect, but we know that that's more of a goal than something that we can all achieve. But when it comes to the letter of the law, contracts, and anything that's going to require mass consumption, you want to make sure that it goes out and you're very comfortable with how it looks. For those of you that are leaving situations, whether it's a job, whether it's a loved one, that's okay. If you're dealing with drama based on something that's happened in the past, or if you're cleaning up a mess from someone else, don't beat yourself up. Simply acknowledge where you're at, try not to do it again, and realize that you were basically calling in a divine message and a divine lesson through this, and everything is as it should be. Finally, maybe for those of you that are creative, you can take some of these things and write about them. For those of you that just are more practical minded and want to find a way to process or synthesize things, writing is a great vehicle to do so. So that concludes this month's reading. I hope it was helpful for you. If you'd ever like a personal one-on-one, I do offer independent readings, so you can click in one of the corners here and I'll make sure that I put a link to book an appointment. Otherwise, just stay in touch with me. A great way to do so is to click subscribe or to join the newsletter. I am very good about posting a link in the newsletter when all of the videos have been published, so that's a really excellent way to know first when new videos are here on YouTube. You can also join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Last and most importantly, thank you so much for your support. Without your help each month, it would be very difficult to be here. So thank you for the likes, the subscribes, and all the comments. It really means a lot. If you found this useful and want to help kind of keep this channel going, there'll be a link at the end as well where you can add a donation of any amount. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you again in 1 month's time. Satnam, thank you so much. Take care.